Good morning. This is Dr. Brad. We're going to continue the last episode with Dan in his hospital stay and what all went on with it. So this was a real big eye-opener. It's so common with most people's experiences on having major health issues. They go to the hospital. Dan spent 12 days in the hospital, really with no help. They got him addicted to narcotics, the opiate, Dilaudid. He had to struggle to go through withdrawals to get off of that, and they still never even address the problem. So we were just into talking about how what we really need to do to resolve that. So we're going to jump back in right now. So here we go.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not at all. Biggest thing I've noticed after this whole thing is that the sensation of having to go to the bathroom when you got to do a bowel movement is a little bit sharper than it was before. It's quite noticeable. It's like, okay, it's time to go. And it's just a sharper
Okay.
sensation than it was before.
Okay. So when you have to go, there's an urgency that you can't wait for a while.
No, once you get the notification, you've probably got 10 minutes, or you've got problems. Take your pick.
Are you having more bowel movements now than you were before you went in to the hospital?
Yeah, they're just more regular.
Okay.
It's like it depends on when I eat. If I have 2 meals a day, then there's 2 to 3 good movements. It's basically in the morning after I have a cup of water or a bite of food, got to go and it cleans out and makes room for more food. And
Yeah.
I'm just not bloated like I was. It's right now there's still a little bit because I haven't cleaned out from the last few days. Stuff I ate last night, but pretty
Yeah, but
regular.
a lot of people don't realize normal bowel habits is 3 to 5 times a day, and that's from the societies that don't have any gastrointestinal problems. We got to go at least twice a day so that we're not really toxic. And in working with people fixing the diet, it generally increases the bowel movements into what's more normal. And
Right.
then it's common for those urgencies to come up, but your bowel habits have become a lot more normal now, which
Yeah.
that's how you get the inflammation out of the gut, is to get
Right.
everything moving,
Right.
which is big. And it's also interesting for people to realize when you do a gallbladder flush right, it's not traumatic. You spent 12 days, give or take some, in the hospital, probably with lodged gallstone pain, and yet we get you to flush with relatively no pain. Do you
Right.
understand why there wasn't pain the way we had you flush?
I didn't notice any. I went to sleep, so it's let me fix the connection just a moment. That should be better. Is that better connection? I don't see you right now. I see you, but you're frozen. Are you back?
Okay, you're back. Yep, you're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, because yours has been kind of jumping out, but what was the question we were on when I got distracted?
Do you understand why, when we did the flush, that it wasn't painful like it was in the hospital?
Because there wasn't the inflammation. That's my
No,
understanding.
the real reason is the malic acid in the apples make it so that those gallstones, if they get under pressure, they fragment,
Yeah,
so
that
that
makes sense. Yeah.
you don't pass them whole. They fragment into small pieces. So that's a critical part of a good flush. Is you gotta make those stones so as soon as they get pressurized moving through the duct, that they'll fragment into small pieces and not get stuck.
Right. Because the whole idea of having the gallbladder removed, which is one I could understand their side of it, but I'm going, yeah, you won't have gallstones and potentially back
No,
every.
actually, the stones get formed higher up in the ducts in the liver,
Right.
and they roll down the ducts and they get stuck in the gallbladder and they'll continue to grow, but
Right.
they actually form higher up.
Yeah. So the whole point of wanting to get removed is so that you just flush them out while they're smaller. But the other thing that they do is they dilate that sphincter that keeps you, that would normally allow stuff to collect in the gallbladder. But if you don't have it, it's just got to go right through. And if you back stuff up, then it causes problem in the liver. So a lot of times they will remount that sphincter in there, that little valve, and then you have no control. And as soon as the liver produces something, or the pancreas, it just dumps right into your bowel. So you're having to eat all the time. And I'm going, no, I don't want to do that. And gotten into several arguments with people about that. And it's like, why not just cure the problem that's creating the gallstones, which is properly managing the minerals that you have in your body, and turn around and keep it flushed out, and then you've got good digestive juices for when you eat, not for just when the liver decides to produce it.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom in what you just said.
So
Just a lot of wisdom in that. And that is something a lot of people don't realize. Where I used to be, the local docs, some people we work with, they took my gallbladder flush in, and the local docs started using my gallbladder flush on their patients.
yeah,
Pretty funny.
I'm actually, since our primary just retired, I was looking for a new one. I'm getting set up to see him in Moose Lake. So that's,
Wow.
yeah, young doctor we both know. So looking forward to that.
Interesting. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, so sounds like you need to do several more. Generally, you want to do several of them, like 6 in a row together, like every 6 days, to make sure that you get all of the flukes out of there.
Okay.
You might clear the stones earlier, but you've got to do them close enough together so that there's no eggs left to hatch.
That makes sense.
And that's over the course of 30 days. So it's like 6 flushes every 6 days. And you should be able to clear that out.
Okay. I'll work on that.
So that's a pretty big one. And if every 6 days is too tough and you want to pick a day where you're free from work and all that, you could do that every 7 or something like that. But you can do them every 6 at the earliest.
Yeah. Do it on the weekends.
And that way you can just finish it off and be done with all this stuff. You'll have everything out of your ducts flowing freely. And with you eating right, it won't be able to create that nightmare again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a lot more sensitive to what's going on, and definitely feel when things are off. I go, okay, what's that all about? Go back to, okay, what did you eat? And go from there. So,
Yeah, I remember the last time we checked you, your food intolerances was about as low as anybody ever gets it.
yeah,
And it was over the top, as high as it ever gets when you
right.
came out of the hospital. So
Yeah,
you've done a lot to manage your own life
right.
in a really, really good way so that you don't end up in this situation ever again.
Yeah, I don't want to go back. Yeah. That's the kind of pain you never want to have. I've never had a baby, but that and kidney stones are probably really close up there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things, and it's interesting in that all of those, it takes a tissue, commonly some kind of a duct. Reproductive tract is a duct. The ducts that the gallbladder empties through, those are tubes. And through the kidneys, you got these tubes go from the kidney down to the bladder called ureters, and urethra from the bladder to go out. Those are ducts too. Those stones are as wicked as those stars, those ninja stars that they used to use.
Hmm.
It was really common many years ago. Kids were throwing those things around and doing stuff. But these kidney stones are all spiked. They're crystals of salts and all that. And they stretch out these ducts and they just dig these spikes into it the whole way down. And that's where all the pain comes from,
'Cause it's ripping. Yeah, ripping
pretty
and
much.
stretching, making you
So
uncomfortable, to say the
very
least.
much so. Very much so. So you got a ways to go, but you're headed in the right direction for sure. And finishing off the flushes is going to be one of those things to keep you from having to come back to this again. Have you had any discomfort like you had experienced since you did your first flush?
No, the flushes still weren't bad. Everything seems to be working well.
Okay, good.
As long as I stay on the good food and don't get something squirrely,
Mhm.
stay away from the corn and the wheat, and
Yeah, which, if you ever go back to drinking beer, um, understand that where you live, all the microbreweries use wheat,
so just
and
stay away.
all your commercial, big name commercial beers, all use corn.
Huh.
So craft beers, most craft beers don't, and you can find it's Bell's is a national company that's really clean products. They've
Hmm.
got a good IPA called Two Hearted. They've got a really good porter, and they have some good, more like ales. And I think they've got a good lager too, which the Modelo, I believe, is a lager.
It's a Pilsner.
Okay,
It's a Pilsner.
okay. So you can find a higher quality clean beer
Yeah.
that won't give you all those issues. That's the point. But you won't find those in your local area because I don't remember the guy's name who ran Fitgers, but he talked everybody up there into putting wheat in their beer and made it all toxic. It's really sad.
Yeah. Unless you make the stuff yourself, which is obviously an option with the edge. It just hasn't been a desire to have any of it. It's like after that much
Yeah,
pain and they're blaming it on that, I'm going, no,
yeah. That's not what causes it. What
I know.
causes it is diets that make you produce higher quantities of bile, things like with hydrogenated fats, things along that line, things that make you produce a lot more bile, but you don't get the proper stimulation to release it, and the gut's not functioning right, so you don't get the signals. Like you had a pretty high level of H. pylori in your stomach. It's the stomach acid that gives a stimulus to release the bile. So with H. pylori, you don't get the stomach acid. And without
Huh.
the stomach acid, you don't get the signal to release the bile. So that will create gallstones. You add on top of that a diet with hydrogenated fats that require more bile to digest them. They don't digest very well. And you add food intolerance on there with all the gut inflammation where you're not absorbing nutrients and everything that goes along with that. It just sets the stage for things like that.
So is that why the lime juice helps a lot?
The lime juice typically we need to use until the H. pylori is gone, which yours is gone now, to increase the stomach acid so that the digestive juices start to work again. It's a pretty common thing for people to use betaine hydrochloride, but that usually comes from cow sources and it's usually toxic and it creates a whole bunch more problems. We started using lime juice a long time ago. It's way healthier. Lime juice is 100 times more acidic than lemon.
Yeah.
So all your numbers in pH, it goes from 0 to 14 and 7 is neutral. From 7 to 8, 8 is tenfold the acidity of 7. From 8 to 9 is tenfold what 8 was.
For the acid, doesn't that go down?
The number's going down, that's basic. And it's the same thing if we go down. If you go from 7 to 6, 6 is 10 times more basic than 7. 5 is 10 times more basic than 6. And 5 is 100 times more basic than 7.
Okay.
So you multiply all those things. So lime juice is it's super acid and it's really clean. There's really hard to find a clean lemon, even organic, where lime is pretty easy to find good ones. So that's why we use that. Once your H. pylori is gone, what yours is, you usually don't need to keep using that.
Okay. Yeah, I always thought that it was on the pH scale, that the lower the numbers was the acid. On the pOH scale, it would be the basics would be lower.
You might be right. You
The
possibly are. Yeah, I think you are right. Yeah, I explained that backwards.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've run both scales, so it's just kind of interesting. It depends on the test strips you use, which way they're gonna show
Um,
up.
not really. But I'm just thinking about it. I did some labs yesterday, and you're right. I was wrong in the way that I said that. But even still, from a whole number, from each point, like
It's logarithmic.
6.1 is 1 times more, um, is like double the acid, but from 5 to 6 is 10 times more
So
acidic.
it's a logarithmic scale.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's
So,
just like the earthquakes are also on a logarithmic scale.
yeah, yeah, there you go. So it's interesting. It's not linear.
I didn't realize that. That's an interesting one. I didn't realize it was logarithmic that they were testing that. So the difference between you get something down 2 or 3 and it's really corrosive.
Super.
And going below that, it's like you can't even contain it.
Yeah, and an interesting thing with the acid and the base, electricity will move at the speed of light in a pure acid at 0 pH, but it
Okay.
can't move at all in a pure base, not at
Right.
all.
Okay.
And the pH with the salt issues control all of the function inside of us with all the electricity. Well, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother thing. And, I think this is really eye-opening for everybody that's listening in that it's such a common thing for people with different kinds of health problems to go to who they think they need to go to, not get any answers, get a management that is the best that they know how to do, but it messes up the physiology. And the testing and the studies that they do don't show what the problem is, but costs just an insane amount of money.
Right.
Insane amount of money with no diagnostic quality whatsoever. And you can talk to somebody who understands these things, ask a few questions like we just asked on here today to
Yeah.
tell what organ system is there. And then you can localize some diagnostic things to just prove what that is with something that's simple, non-invasive, not a huge cost, and deal with it there.
Right.
And once you deal with it the right way, life starts turning the way that it's supposed to be. These things go away, and it's like, okay, I don't want to go back there again.
Right.
And you just set up the lifestyle to do that. So, so this is good. You got anything to add before we sign off?
Um, I can't think of a whole lot. Just if you want to be healthy and live a little bit longer, you're gonna need to take care of what you eat and trying to find clean foods and ways that make them taste good and not cause you problems is it's an art, and it's pretty interesting. I tend to like to cook a bit, and so I'll share some of the stuff that I'm eating, and people go, well, either that's really good or that smells really good, but I don't want that. Eating a lot of greens and stuff that are depending on how you cook it, and it's good.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just keep eating healthy and test to see what is causing you problems so that you can work around it and learn to stay away from things like the nightshades and the different things that are sprayed on the grains. I was looking down, we visited our grandbaby, and so we'd go down to southern Minnesota and see all the fields that things should still be pretty green and they're all just brown, ready to harvest. And I'm going, oh, they sprayed that to kill it with the glyphosates so that they wouldn't have to pay to dry it. And I'm just going, that's so sick. So they poison us so that we won't poison the grains, which is what you feed to the animals, which you turn around and eat. And they're now running into some problems with being able to export the grains because other countries won't take them because of all the GMO and the glyphosates that have been sprayed on them. It's just really crazy.
Yeah. The more you know, the more insane it all really becomes. But, that's a whole nother topic. But you laid something out that everybody really needs to know. Our food supply is poisoned on purpose.
Right.
Then that's so the medical and pharmaceutical companies can reap great big huge profits on keeping you sick.
Yeah.
That's
Keeping
a
you
whole nother.
Yeah, trying to keep you alive so they can keep milking your money out. And if you simply had it to where you look at insurance, the reason why healthcare is so expensive is because they are allowed to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on expensive surgeries and stuff that way that if you turn around and you had to pay for it, you'd go, see ya, I'm out of here, and you leave your family with something besides bills.
Yeah.
It's just insane, and how the whole system is designed to have it to where you don't have anything. Anyway, I can keep ranting on that, but
Yeah.
as we
Yeah,
all,
it's huge though, and it's good to hear that out of your mouth because you realize you just went through that,
yeah,
and it offered you no help. It got you in a place where you had to struggle through withdrawal issues to get off of their palliative remedy that didn't fix anything. You've been in the process of addressing everything since then. You're doing way better without any dramatic
yeah, right. The
issues.
opioids have a place when you're in such pain that you can't even think and you're just absolutely going crazy. But turn around and get off of it as soon as you can. And yeah,
Yeah. Something that, in that situation, if we were closer and you ran into something like this is the real remedy. You
yeah,
laser it to get it to calm down. You get you on a whole bunch of malic acid to get it to break up and you flush it out.
yeah,
That's what needed to be done. And we couldn't do that till after you got out.
right. It's
So
sad, but
anyway,
we got it figured out. So we'll go from there.
yeah,
Is there anything
yeah,
else?
that's
Any other
good.
questions you had?
No, I think that's it. So we'll sign off. This is your Dr. Brad Montana, your Health Reclaimed. We release these every Monday and Thursday. So put a like on this, put a review, share this with your friends. This is really important to get this information out because people are suffering for a lot of reasons that they don't need to. and there's better solutions out there. So thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Okay. Bye.